Hey, welcome to Good Day, Good Health. I'm Dr. Robert Benson. As always, it's really, really great to see you. We want to say thank you to all the powers that have brought you here. Well, today in these changing times, we want to make sure that we're staying on top of one thing, and that is our health. If we're not healthy or if we're not any good, we're not going to be any good to anybody else who needs us. So today we have a very, very special guest, a young lady who's going to come in and talk to us about that very thing. We're going to try to visit the A to Z surrounding medicine. In particular, this woman's expertise is holistic medicine. I'm not going to steal her thunder. I'm going to ask her to come right in and say hello to us. Miss Thea Scott from the great, great place of Chester, Pennsylvania, that talent-rich oasis. Hello there, Thea, and how on earth are you? Thank you for joining us today.
Hello. Hello, Dr. Benson. Thank you so much for having me. And yes, thank you for the shout out to Chester, PA.
Oh, yeah,
Proud
absolutely.
home and
Chester,
where I'm
yeah.
from.
Hey, you and I were talking earlier. We were having some discussions, and we really do literally come from some of the same turf, if you will. I mean, I'm talking about within blocks of each other from where we grew up. But we'll visit that part of it later on. But why don't we just jump right into this topic and talk some about holistic medicine, but how you became someone so vested in it and interested, and you're able to teach and preach about it on the levels that you are.
Okay, absolutely. So my interest in holistic health stemmed from a long time ago. Is trying to be a healthy person. Growing up in the city, but it became more intense for me some years ago when my mother, Miss Mary Scott, was diagnosed with a number of chronic medical conditions. She was diagnosed with extreme hypertension. She had high triglycerides. Her cholesterol levels were extremely high, and she was at risk for a number of more serious conditions such as stroke,
Hmm.
heart attack, diabetes, and things like that. So, being the person that was always responsible for her doctor's visits, when we got the most severe diagnosis about her blood pressure really being at a chronic level,
Mhm.
I decided that we had to do something about it. And I started researching and doing my own homework and studying about things you could do to combat the diagnoses that she had. So we
Mhm.
changed her diet, um, started exercising a little bit, and I will not take all of the credit because she was a willing participant. So I
Absolutely.
provided
Yeah.
her the tools, and she put them to use.
Mhm.
And like I said, she was willing and able, and she wanted to do better. She wanted to make those changes, and she was very consistent with it and very open to changing her lifestyle. And
Mhm.
she was about 77 years old when we started this whole change for her.
Oh, that's very interesting. Hey, let me jump in and ask you a quick question about that. Since you said your mom's 77 years old, but the thing I was wondering about it is that uh, how much or what is the financial impact as far as what you're doing there? Are you having to come out of your pocket a lot more on either side, or are you 100% holistic medicine versus the traditional sense? And is that the reason, or is that part of the reason why?
Yes, so as it relates to my mom, that was some years ago. She was 77 at the time. Where I am now with it is everything does come out of pocket,
Mm.
but I am a strong advocate for organic products whenever available. And just like with the cost of anything else, even the cost of fruits and vegetables go up. But
Mm.
one of my phrases I like to say is, you're going to spend the money on something. You're going to spend it on the food or the medicine. So I would encourage people to spend it on the food if you're going to have to spend the money anyway.
Mm. Let's see. Well, that leads me to nothing. So your mom. So now, what is her health like now, and is she able to maintain what she was able to start?
Okay, so my mom, in 1 year's time, she lost about 75 pounds when we changed the lifestyle. changed her eating habits, and she maintained that weight until her passing, which was not from
Mm.
any of the conditions that started us on this path. In
Okay.
2019 when she passed. But she maintained a very healthy lifestyle and weight for years after we
Mm.
started, making these changes.
I'm sorry to hear that, though. But the thing about it is that at that late in life, to have that kind of consciousness and wherewithal to try to improve things, that's impressive. So now talk about your own lifestyle, yourself, your children, your significant other. How are you incorporating the holistic medicine into your own personal life today?
Okay. Well, I am vegan, which means that I am fruit, vegetable, plant based eater. I don't do any dairy, any meat products, um, any seafood products. Everything is 100% vegan for me. And I encourage that lifestyle for others. I am an advocate for making incremental changes. My
Mm.
family, some of them are on board with it. I have a
Mm.
number of nieces and nephews who are vegan and have adopted that lifestyle. And then I have some others that I'm slowly encouraging. And as I would do to anybody, it starts with baby steps. Pick
Mm.
one thing
Th-
out of
th-
your diet that you'd like to eliminate and then
Thea,
let it grow.
can
And as you start to feel better.
Thea, can I jump in real quick? I got to ask you to clear up something real quick.
Yeah.
I hear this
Yes.
vegan thing, and there's some other terms out there, vegetarian or whatever. Is there any way you can offer up some clarity on exactly what is what? I mean, I hear people you can drink milk or dairy products or eggs or whatever. What is it, and what it? I mean, we may even jump into the next section on this one, but exactly what's the differences between the vegetarian and the vegan, et cetera?
Okay. So vegetarians, they eat fruits and vegetables and no meat, but they do dairy. So they may do cheese, they may do milk, even though those are animal products. They may do honey. Vegans, as myself, we don't even use honey because it's produced by a bee. And then you have pescatarian, which they don't do meat, but they do seafood. They do fish. They would probably
Mm,
do
mm,
shellfish and things like that. And then you have carnivores who are straight meat eaters. They're doing your hamburgers, your spare ribs, your pork chops, and all of that. So those are the three main differences in those eating habits, or four. The meat eaters, the seafood, the plant-based vegetarians, but who do dairy, and then vegans who are all plant-based fruits and vegetables, no animal products whatsoever.
mm. They say you are what you eat, and you're a product of your environment. Now, this might get sticky on this side of things. Is that a lot of people's diet is based on their religious beliefs, but as we grow older, we get exposed to different things. What are your thoughts, and we can pick this up on the other side as we need to, on how eating habits should be intertwined with what you believe religiously, and do you think it's a place for it? But I tell you what, let's
Yes.
pick that up. I'm sorry, go on, go ahead, because
No,
we're going to pick
no,
this up
I
on the
can.
other side. Okay, okay,
Okay, that
yeah.
works.
Like I
Yes.
said, but yeah, just think about that one thing. We're going to take a quick break here. I mean, I'm getting interested on everybody right as we go to a break, though, right?
Okay. Sure. Absolutely. Thank you so
But
much.
no problem. I'm Dr. Robert Benson. I'm hanging out with Thea Scott, who's got some great stuff for us, lifestyle changes and such on Good Day, Good Health. And we'll be right back.
Welcome to Miss Mary's Greenhouse, your one-stop shop for all natural health and wellness products. From soothing balms to energizing teas, every product is crafted with care, using only the finest natural ingredients. Our mission? To help you feel your best naturally. Because when you nurture your body, mind, and spirit, amazing things happen. At Miss Mary's, we believe health and wellness should be simple, pure, and accessible to everyone. Visit MissMarysGreenhouse.com today and discover the power of all-natural living. MissMarysGreenhouse.com, all natural, all you. Your health, your wellness, your way.
Hey, welcome back to Good Day, Good Health. I'm Dr. Robert Benson, and we're always into a great time pontificating with great people. But before we go any further, I want to offer my condolences to Miss Thea Scott's mother, Miss Mary Scott, who's the namesake of her business, and just say on air, God rest your soul. You've raised some great children. I actually grew up with your children, and particularly you, Thea. But again, we want to offer our condolences and as I said
Thank
before,
you.
your mom is, I'm sure, terribly proud of you. And she's looking down, smiling, sliding and gliding and smiling on you. But
Yeah,
let's
thank
move
you.
forward.
Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
absolutely.
Okay.
No problem. On behalf of all of us hanging out here at the NASCAR Network. But when we left off, we were talking about a topic that I'm trying to, tie in together. You can tell me if I'm out in left field on this or not, but I wonder often if how religious beliefs and such are dictate a person's diet and what they grow up eating or not eating. Do you think that there's some medical deficiencies that a person may suffer because of that very thing? I know there's some religion or sects of people who don't believe in blood transfusions and all those types of things. And I'm just wondering what your thoughts are on that, particularly for diet and just anything that kind of could possibly hamper human development, if you will, and related to
Yes.
religion. Mm.
Right. Absolutely. That certain religious calls for certain diets, um, and the Christian belief of which I am, um, there's scripture that tells us what we should eat and what we shouldn't eat as far as animals with split hooves and things
Mm.
like that. And I believe most religions have some type of guidance toward what we should put in our bodies and that we should honor our bodies. And like I said, as a Christian, our belief is that your body is your temple. And as you said, one of my favorite statements earlier, you are what you eat. So
Mm.
within reason, we can still, honor our religions. But I think, and like I said, in most religions, it's going to give you some guidance as to what you should put in your body. When you take it beyond that, I think those are more personal choices for a lot of people outside of religion.
Mm.
Myself, for example, choosing not to eat any animal products. I don't know that the scripture says it's to that extreme, but we do have general guidelines as to what we should, nourish our bodies with.
Mm. It's very interesting. So let's take this in another direction. Totally different. You
Sure.
know that being the public administration, advanced education, matriculating person that you are, there's policy surrounding everything, policy, law,
Yes.
legislation, etc. Uh, Talk to us a little bit about the dichotomy, if you will, between where legislation sits regarding traditional medicine practice, if you will, versus the holistic approach. Are you running into, as a holistic practicer, any kind of policy or laws that prevent you from effectively doing what you do?
Yes, there are laws because not everything, most things should be FDA approved, which is a government agency. So when you look
Mm.
at holistic health, if you're looking for that FDA approval, a lot of times you're not going to get that because it doesn't go through those paths of testing and things like that to become, an acceptable method of treatment. So my thing is, I encourage people to do nutrition based holistic health, which means that you can control what you consume, you can control what you buy in the store,
Mm.
because we live in this capitalistic society and
Yep.
it is based on making money. And if some of these things that we can do for ourselves were put out there on a national level, then it definitely would cause some financial strain for some of the industries who profit off of people being ill and having conditions. So it would definitely be conflictual for the government to say, hey, start eating a lot of fruits and vegetables and you might not get sick, or try fasting, versus being able to go to the doctor and get a prescription. And we know the
Mm.
whole that would be a whole nother segment when we talk about the money that's made and treating conditions rather than curing them.
It's interesting you mention that because see, it really does get to the point where you're at some point it's inevitable for us all to have to deal with the practice of legitimate or traditional medicine. But if we
Yes.
view the holistic medicine as more of a preventive type of approach, then perhaps we prolong or delay the time when we actually will need real medicine and have to end up in the hospital. So, what are your thoughts on that? Talk to us about that, sir.
Yeah, you're tapping on a lot of my favorite quotes. So one of them is, um, an ounce of prevention is worth more than a pound of cure, which
Yay, there you
basically
go.
says if we start preventing these things from happening, which what the things that we have under our control, such as what we consume, um, how we exercise. Like when you talk about holistic health, it's a component. There's multiple components. So we're talking about nutrition, we're talking about proper rest, we're talking about stress reduction, we're talking about our social component, emotional, spiritual. That's what encompasses holistic health, the whole person, mind, body, and soul. And it starts with the mindset. You have to have the mindset to want to feel better, to want to live better, to improve your quality of life. Because inevitably, we have to go at some point in time, but it's how are you living while you're here? What do you feel like? And
Mhm.
that's why I'm an advocate for eating good. And and the other thing that you mentioned when we were talking a little bit earlier, we say diseases run in family, which if we really think about it, eating habits run in families.
That's
So
true.
if we are changing, if we're changing some of our eating habits for our generations, we don't have to say, hey, my grandmother had diabetes, my mother had it, now I'm going to get it. We don't have to, we can break that cycle.
Break
And it
that cycle.
starts with, being educated, educating ourselves, and wanting to do better.
Okay, great. Hey, well, there's one thing I want to do before we get to getting you to give us your handles and how we can get a hold of you. Uh, Health is not just physical; it's emotional, it's mental, it's everything else. And I want to, just say, hey, everyone, be very, very cognizant of both of those sides of that sword, if you will, that coin. Not just physical, but mental. If there's something that bothers you emotionally, check that as well. But I'm going to go back to Thea one more time. I'm going to ask her, hey, tell a little bit about your business, how we can get a hold of you, your websites and all of those types of things. And it's been a real great time chatting with you on Good Health with Dr. Robert
Yes.
Benson and his friends over there. But talk to us about your business slightly there and how we can get a hold of you.
Yes, my business is Miss Mary's Greenhouse, and I am a I identify myself as a provider of all natural health and wellness products. I have a number of products, from wild crafted sea moss gel. I have cold pressed juices. I have herbal teas, an all natural herbal detox, which is going to remove the toxins and waste that we breathe in every day from our bodies. I also have, a facial mask that's from sea moss. I have hair oil that's all organic, plant, herbal based. Everything I do is based around herbs. If you know about sea moss, it's a almost like a natural vitamin. Our bodies are made of 102 essential minerals. 92 of those minerals are in sea moss, and I
Mhm.
am the sole proprietor of
Oh,
Miss
cool.
Mary's Greenhouse. I make all of the products myself.
Hey, Miss Mary, Thea, can I ask you a question? Are any of your
Yes.
products gender specific, or anyone can enjoy or benefit from the if effects of whatever it is that you're using, if you will?
Yes. So herbs are not gender specific, but the only two items that I have that I've crafted is I have a men's performance tea that a lot of
Mm,
my, customers who are in the gym and they want to increase their stamina, that is geared, those herbs are geared toward men. And then I have a women's wellness tea, which is helping, some older women with the symptoms of menopause, I have a tea that helps some younger women, the same tea with, symptoms of, what you go through monthly for some of the younger women. So those are the only products that are really gender specific, but still either gender can enjoy both of them, but they are crafted toward, like I said, the men's performance tea and the women's wellness tea.
I see. Okay, so how can we get a hold of you? And you see, you had your website. Is there an email address or something, a handle on YouTube or what are the various venues that are out there where people can maybe reach out and catch
Yes,
up with you, Miss Mary?
absolutely. So my website is missmarysgreenhouse.com. And you can always select the contact us link, and where it says how may we help you. If you want to place an order, you can enter your information there. You can also subscribe to my monthly newsletter there, which I'm always sharing a bunch of information on health and wellness. My upcoming newsletter is going to be on acidic foods versus alkaline foods. Then I also have an Instagram, which is Miss_Marys_Greenhouse, and I'm on Instagram. And then you also can talk to me directly. I usually pick up the phone. I have a phone number from Miss Mary's Greenhouse, which is 610 322 1850. So there's, 3 ways you can get a hold of me. On the phone, I'm usually responding within a 24-hour time frame, but I try to make myself as accessible as possible.
Outstanding. But there, can I ask for one more thing before we get out of here? And that is give me a one sentence piece of advice you'd offer anyone out there who wants to remain healthy.
I would say treat your body like it belongs to someone you love. If you are concerned and you want to live a quality life, you have to invest that time and love into yourself by being very conscious of what you put in your body, what you feed in your spirit, and what you feed into your soul, because it all ties in together.
Wow.
Love
And
yourself.
you heard it. That is outstanding. Thank you so much for joining us there. Hey, and you heard it on Good Day, Good Health. I'm Dr. Robert Benson. I'm going to close out with that quote. Treat your body like it's someone you love. And we'll talk to you next time. Thank you.